talked about him. Compression testing, I talked about that. Compression testing all the time to let you guys know. And basically when we're hitting, like I've got videos coming out of us hitting the bats. It's going to just be us talking about how long it takes the bat to break in, what are the compression levels whenever our guys are hitting them, right? And that kind of changes. Another thing too, guys, you know, depending on who swings the bat, and I've always said this in anything, you know, a lot of the faster bat speed guys can break a bat in faster. You know, us slower bat speed guys takes a little longer to break it in. One thing I will tell you with this KEVLAR material is when you grab a balanced bat from us that has KEVLAR in it, it's going to take a little bit longer for a balanced bat. It always has taken longer for a balanced bat because you don't have that big mass on the end of it to actually compress that barrel. So it's going to take you a little bit longer. Bat. It's going to take you a little bit longer. It's going to take you a little bit longer to get that bat actually going and getting to open up when it comes to that. So yes, I've always said that when it comes to balance bats. So whenever you guys are swinging balance bat, Mr. Cox.
Hey, what's going on,
not
man?
Too much.
Sorry
How are you doing? I wanted this to be long, and almost working on 2 hours here. And I wanted to get you on earlier, but I never told you about it. But I thought you'd actually be up here, and I could click on you to get you on here. Alan, a little bit too, to talk about his product, what he has out there, and basically just talk about what you hit to this morning. You know, your bat. I have not swung your bat yet because I tend to be one of the last guys to actually get it, get any of the bats that are coming out. Just basically, you know, you guys hit it today. What kind of response? You know, for one, first, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And congratulations on the bat too. And but definitely, what did you see? Because this is something I've never swung it. It has KEVLAR in it, so that's a different kind of feel. You know, what did you think?
Well, I'll tell you, we got to hit it a little bit yesterday afternoon. I wasn't going to do much hitting. I was going to let some of the older guys that I had with me hit it. I wanted them to see, you know, themselves first. And we put about the first 20 swings. We were hitting some mushy balls. It was really like muggy, you know, rainy, not quite rainy, but it was getting ready to start where it was, you know, overcast. It was definitely the first 20 swings. You could hear it. It was tinging a little bit. After that, it started to make different sounds. And then today we took it out after about 50 swings on it, and you could see the response instantly change. I went and got better balls from the shop, got rid of all the socks and stuff that we'd been hitting for a while. And I'll tell you, I was absolutely dumbfounded at the performance of that bat when we hit it today. You can see on the live, I literally took that bat out. We didn't hit anything. We didn't warm up. We had the pitching machine trying to get it dialed in. That didn't really work. And then, so I had Jerry, which you guys seen him. Jerry's 74 years old or 73 years old. And we absolutely were hitting some. I started to spray the field, you know, working backside, working pull side deep, and trying to hit both sides of the net. And you can go back to the video and watch and listen to the sound of the bat change after about, like I said, the 50 swings. And then we're up to right now, we're working on about 300 on that bat. And there's not even a mark on the bat. There's no, the barrel's not coming apart. You know how where you'll see it breaking down.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, a couple of things. Do you see a difference in break-in period because it is KEVLAR?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, so you're going to have to hit a little bit longer.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Because that's the one thing that I do see that a little bit when it comes to even the end loads too, because especially with a balance bat, you have no mass on the end. So it's your bat speed and here's another thing too. And I did see that. The only reason I'm asking you is because I did see you pull in a lot of 70-year-old guys, and I love you for doing that.
Right.
Because you're paying attention to that group of people, a group of people, the older guys. So it actually gives you a true feeling on how the bat performs with those guys swinging it. the break-in period on getting it there. So, and I even said this, I think, and I haven't swung about it. I just assume, because I know what Kevlar is, I assume that it's going to take you a little bit long to get there, but once it gets there, whoo, you know,
Yeah.
it's the one thing, I don't know if you've seen it yet either, is when you do get down low compression, which I don't think that bat will as fast, but because of the mass, when you get down to like that 175, 180, it's going to feel amazing with that Kevlar.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're going to spin it a little bit better, you know, with that low compression.
We did see that today. We noticed with the because the wind, if you've seen when we first started, our wind was blowing directly in at us.
Yeah.
So those first shots that were hit, those were directly into the wind. And then the wind changed around on us a little bit. And then like I said, I had Tommy and George hitting. George is somebody that I started softball with, come out of baseball and played with him. Matter of fact, I gave him one of my signature bats. So he got one right off the press, because he's always hit with me. Like I told you before, I couldn't hit to save my life because I was used to fast.
Yeah.
But I had him hitting it. He's 64. I had Tommy Lowther hitting it. He's 64. And I wanted to see their response with it. And they were absolutely just killing it. And Tommy hits the baby blue wig popper as well as anybody. And that's what we seen ourselves, was the barrel response, where the more we kept hitting it, more we kept hitting it, not worrying if it was going to break. I mean, they just were killing it with that bat. So, and they're loving that Kevlar, really loving the Kevlar.
Because this is something new, so that's the reason I wanted to talk to you, bring you on about talking about it, because Kevlar on a balance bat, a one-piece balance bat that is a 12-inch. So it's something that you in your mind, you know it's going to work and you know it's going to be great, but hearing you talk about it, that's what I wanted people to hear, is you talking about the performance of on a balance bat, what the Kevlar can do. Because a lot of people don't know. We can sit here and talk to her blue in the face, but a lot of people don't know unless they have it in their hands or they're swinging it, you know. But the performance on it too, and the recoil on that barrel, and the sound. You guys notice that sound, because there is something called a Kevlar sound where you can hear it, and it's that Kevlar. It actually sounds really good, you know.
100%.
Chris.
We were definitely, I mean, highly surprised. And that's the other thing too, is we've been hitting that blackout with SpinTech. And I was talking to them today about it. We hit it, you know, after we were hitting off the camera. And I'm going to tell you, honestly, we're at about 800 hits on that bat right now. And it's still not even, I mean, there's no marks on that bat. It is just performing. So Jeff is onto something with what he's got going with that Kevlar and SpinTech too. I mean, also. Oh,
definitely. Is that okay? The SpinTech, have you swung this? Is the balance bat a SpinTech?
No. This was, we hit the,
we hit
mine
with the SpinTech.
Yeah, the blackout with the SpinTech.
How many did you get? How many blackouts did you get with SpinTech?
Just one.
Okay.
We're still hitting the first one today, and we're at about 800 on it right now.
Yeah.
Hitting with, and probably 300 of those right now are 44 650s and 52 700s also.
Yeah.
So it's unreal.
The one thing that, because we hit ours too, the one thing I will say about it is the SpinTech is not like it, and like Adam talked about it, it almost feels like the OG Dudley SpinTech, because a lot of people tried to simulate that SpinTech throughout the years and never could. This one's a little bit more mush. It not more than that. It's as sticky as that, and you got to kind of clean it off after a while to get it on the ground, just like you used to do the Dudleys. There's been a lot of people out there that try to duplicate it, but I think this is, and it does spin. I'm a spinner, so whenever you do spin it, I've topped some too that just go straight into the ground. That's how come I know that it actually does affect it. Now, to the severity, I don't know. I can't measure a Magnus effect.
Right.
I can't measure spin rate. You know, so I don't know. I just see the distance that I get in, or the rise, like when you hit a golf shot, it comes up and just rises on you. That's the way I can tell. So I do think it's something that Jeff Leslie, because, you know, Leslie's a material girl, you know, so she might have, found something there that are actually going to benefit us in the future, and it's probably going to be put on a lot more bats out there too, going into the U-Trip market too. So I wanted to bring you on, kind of talk about it. I know you're busy, bud, and you know, talk about it a little bit. And congratulations on your bat. And
thank you. That's Sarah. Yeah, she's helped me with the camera. If you guys know, she knows this social media stuff inside and out. So
yeah, if you're wondering why it kept moving around, I'm watching on my phone, holding his phone because it was too fast for me to find the tripod, but the camera's backwards and my phone's delayed, so it was hard to find the right angle.
She needs to go help Jeff right now. That's what she needs.
Right. Leslie's she's the other ace.
Yeah,
so.
he's not even there now. I heard he's probably working in the office by himself or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking to them guys about this morning. You know, where Short Porch has totally, Jeff doesn't sleep. You know how he's constantly, and we say this to these guys, where I use you as an example with Jeff driving out to Vegas. You give him an idea about a bat, and then boom, how quick was that bat already being produced? I mean, it was.
And what's I got, we were eating breakfast, and all of a sudden I got a mock-up that looked like it was on a, it was on a computer, and it had all the diagrams in it. And I texted him, I go, what is this? And it had a 3D imaging of it, like coming up before he put it in the bat. And it's like coming up out of the ground. It's a 3D image of it. I go, oh my God. And I see how it was put together. And he goes, what do you think? And you know me, I'm not a nerd, so I don't know. I said, what do you mean what I think? Well, I can't even see what it is. I can't put all that together. And the connection was big. Like it wasn't like it was like huge, and it fit down in there. And I'm like, what did you do here? And then he started saying he already built it. And not only did they build it, but they sent it off to get the 3D images made, the 3D made, so they can put it in there and test it in China. Within like 3 days, they were already testing it in China.
It was crazy.
And it was unreal. He goes, oh yeah, it passed already. It's going to NTS. And I'm like, what passed? You're kidding me, right? That's how fast he got that done, because he has so much knowledge when it comes to numbers, and so much knowledge when it comes to putting stuff in a computer, telling them what he wants, not asking them, telling them what he wants them to do.
Yep.
Okay, here's my mock-up, because you got to do a 3D image to get that mock-up, to get that, to get that form, to get the form, right? So here's my form, go ahead and build it for me. And then put them in all these bats that I want you to do. And then put KEVLAR, then spin tech, then do all this.
Right. That is one thing. I don't know if you've seen that when you guys are hitting live, because in the cage, it doesn't, you don't get quite the effect, because it's restricted on both sides and top. But what we noticed when we were hitting with that spin tech, we were getting counterclockwise rotation. We were getting clockwise rotation, not just up and down. You know what I mean? It not just over or under. You know, a lot of times you see that spin, and we were watching the ball where it would grip and roll inside out better than any bat I've ever hit. I mean, to be honest with you, really good response.
Definitely. In the outfield, like I was telling those guys, on the video that I'm cutting up for tomorrow, you can hear me saying, you see that ball? You see what it did? And it wouldn't make that with another bat. It would make that with that spin. And I'm like, oh, and then balls would come in or balls would go out depending on how we hit it.
Yes.
I'm like, whoa, that's something that's when you got something and you know it's gripping and you know it's working.
Yep.
You know? But here's
and
the
again,
deal, Todd. Just think what's coming.
I know it. It's crazy.
And this is the off season, and look what's coming.
Yes.
You know, now we're going into the season, and there's so much, man. You know, the DDT's coming out, and then they got the one-piece DDT coming out close to Vegas next year. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's coming down the road that a lot of people just they don't know. And the part about it is Jeff is already 5 steps ahead of everybody else.
Exactly.
Even me, when it comes to, he'll send me something. He goes, "What do you think about this?" I said, "Dude, we just talked about this. How are you going to launch it when you got all these other ones? The DDT coming out. You've got all these other bats. You got the Spin Tech now. Then you got the KEVLAR coming out. You're putting that in, and you got the ASA coming out. You got the U-Trip that are coming out, and you got the ASA that's coming out. And then you got the fast pitch bats that are coming out. Then you got to work on, not only that, you got to work on the bat bags. Which
Yes.
I think what you did for Clem the other day was freaking awesome.
Oh,
About the
man.
too.
That's the least we could do for that guy. I mean, Clem is class act, and what he's done for our country, that's the least we could do, you know?
Definitely. Definitely. But hey, thanks for coming on. Kind of having
You guys.
Jeff's back right here. You know,
All right.
Have a happy new year.
You guys have a great new
you
year.
guys too. And I'll see you again. I think I'm going to Florida, man.
That's what I heard.
Jeff had said something about it. I'll be up there hanging out. I don't think I'm playing yet because I know the 65s are not playing in Florida. They're going to be in Utah in March, I think, playing in that tournament up there in St. George, Utah. So I think I'll be there. That's
Well,
going
I think we might keep you busy. We're working on some stuff for over in that area now. So hopefully we can get some media and some
definitely be doing a lot of
demos.
videos. A
Yes.
lot of Facebook Live,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of media stuff we'll be working
Yeah,
on.
for sure.
But I'll see you when I get down there, and Sarah too.
All right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you now. Happy New Year.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Here, you gotta click it off.
How do I do it?
I'm just.
Hang on a second. That's it.
Balance movement. You hear Ron. Guys, DDT. That's another one.